I think we're there. I think we're live. We're having technical difficulties today, so this is going to be an interesting afternoon. Welcome to Denim and Pearls. I'm Brian Swanson.
And I'm Dr. Michelle Moroz.
And we are what?
Denim and Pearls, we are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom.
From the porch. What we're both doing is checking on our phones to see if we're actually in the camera, because we cannot see what's going on.
Yeah, and I don't have a timer. I don't have anything
It
else.
says we're not live.
What?
Are we live?
I don't know. We're supposed to be.
Not that I see. If we're live, I would. Oh, yep, we are live.
So we're looking like fools at this
Yeah,
point.
we're both looking at our phones right now. So the topic is potential. And actually, if you could let us know if you can hear us, that would be awesome.
That would really be awesome.
But we were having technical difficulties, and actually we have an apropos topic, potential.
Apropos.
Apropos.
That's a good word. It's hearing us because it's giving us you're getting the whatchamacallit when you were in it.
Okay. Well, potential is
Closed captions.
The definition of potential is having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. And this whole situation of StreamYard, nothing would link, none of the microphones would work. We had the potential of completely bombing today.
But here we are.
But Brian's ingenuity showed us the potential that we can still come on old school with an old cell phone.
Yeah, and we have no idea what we look like or nothing else.
Well, I can show you
except for what's in the live.
Yeah, we're just both looking like,
What?
Yeah, we're doing fine.
We're doing fine?
Yeah.
Good.
So what brought up this topic?
It's a couple seconds behind. Cool. Anyhow, what brought this topic up was I actually watched a TV show yesterday, and it was, what did I say it was? The Big Deal or something like that? The big, not the big reveal, but anyhow, it's credit to Apple TV. It's on Apple TV, and it's a series. It's in its second season, I think, which means I think it's probably done.
But you don't have to go all the way in it, but why?
I could go in it for days.
Why? Why did you want to talk about it?
I thought it was interesting because it's about this machine that puts out your potential and it puts it onto a card, and it's just one word. And it tells you that it predicts your potential is to be a magician. Your potential is to be what was the other one that they used? Royalty, to be royalty.
So basically, you go into the machine, you put on it takes your hand,
it
whatever,
identifies you,
and takes your social, and then tells you what your potential is. And really, that's what we do every day of our lives.
Well, the whole town gets taken over by this machine, not taken over by the machine, but taken over by the idea that the machine is correct.
But don't talk about the machine. I mean, about the show. If we all had a machine
that punched out a number,
that just told us what our potential is, would we achieve it or would we not? And the reason I said that this was such a great thing to talk about is we all had that kind of a machine. We had a family.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, our families would say, man, you're really good at that. You're going to be a great plumber or whatever. And the thing is you get that as a little kid, you get programmed. I'd be good at this, or I'm not good at this. And we carry it through our entire lifetime.
Or you won't be good at that.
Yes.
That's the other side of that too, because I mean, how many doctors that their kids become doctors, the lawyers become lawyers, the plumbers become plumbers, what if firemen become firemen?
The military kids turn and go military.
The military go military. I mean, we do that all because of our influences upon our lives, and of course, who those people are within our lives who are telling us this. But if you had somebody come up to you, and in this case a machine, I'm still going to go back to it because I thought it was awesome. But if somebody gives you a word and said, this is what your potential is, would you take it seriously? And then the opposite side of that question is, how do you define the word that's given to you? Because, for instance, one of the big ones in there is a priest, and he gets the word father. Well, when we think father, we think priest. In many cases.
Or dad.
Or dad, right? But it went the other way. you get a card that says father on it and you're already a priest, don't you think that you've already met your potential?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everyone listens to that in a different way.
Mhm.
So like I you said in the show the gal got royalty.
Royalty.
Your potential is royalty. That doesn't even make any sense. Does that mean you are regal? Does that mean you're going to run into someone that's going to marry you that just happens to be a king or royalty or
Right.
whatever? I mean, there's so many ways of interpreting a word. So what was the other one where the guy said magician?
Magician.
He got the word magician and he's a crappy magician. But there's other ways of being a magician.
Right.
There's ways of being, it's not a magician per se as in name a card, any card. It's a magician as in can create things that are unexpected.
Right, or appear magical.
Yeah. So we all have
Never
different
use
things.
the word in the definition.
Well, and the reason I thought about I like that this topic when Brian asked about it and said, let's do this, I thought, wow, this is great. Because I've met so many people who say, well, I've always wanted to be a teacher, but I'm not. I said, well, what do you do? Well, I run this and I do that and I help people to develop their branding or blah, 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 blah. I do. So you're a teacher. And they do, oh my God, I am. Or I've always wanted to be I've always wanted to be a nurse or in medicine. Well, what do you do? Well, I go in and I look at someone's business and I find out where all their problems are and I solve that problem. I do. So you are a doctor. You are a nurse. What do you mean? Well, you go in, you find the problem, you fix it, and they get better. Oh my gosh, I really did. You see, so we put parameters on ourselves.
Well, I took a test one time years ago when I was in Arizona and I belonged to a church group. You know, they wanted to check your personalities and stuff. Well, my personality came out minister. And I'm like, yeah, no. This guy doesn't preach the gospel. This is going to be really weird with me being a minister. Well, the minister explained to me that doesn't necessarily mean it's a man of God who goes out and, you know, walks the streets. It actually can be somebody who administers, somebody who teaches, and I'm
Guides.
like, with guides, leaders, and I'm like, okay, I can live with that definition.
That's what he did. That's what he ended up doing. And so when we hear the word potential and people say, oh, you have the potential to, or you have the potential for,
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that is the only answer. It means to use it in whatever way, shape, or form makes you happy. And so, like with me, I don't know, what did I want to be when I grew up? Oh, when I took my ASVAB test, I remember what ASVAB stands for.
Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Test.
Okay, the
Or something
ASVAB
like that.
said that my
Battery,
aptitude,
actually.
my aptitude was to be a museum curator. And I went, no. I would, and I was like, I have no desire to work at a museum. But what I found is I am really, really good at what they said. I'm very detail oriented, but I'm very good at seeing the big picture and putting those big pictures together so that it's pretty much an adventure. I do that. I help people with their dioramas of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And then together we are this lovely museum of amazing things that happen. I mean, so it's a different way of looking at curating. I'm good at details. I'm good at putting things together, but not at a museum.
I'm just picturing night at the museum.
Yeah, well, that was a security guard.
I can see you running through the museum. Being chased by, what was it, woolly mammoths?
They had everything. No, but as a curator, I mean, it was curation and something else, like someone in the library who does all the numbers, but it was like very detail oriented. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so I thought that's what I was supposed to do. No, it's what I ended up doing.
Right.
I like details.
I'm just looking because I've got a timer on because we can't see our timer today. So, and it keeps fading out on me because it's actually an online timer. So it keeps fading out and the phone keeps going black. So I'm trying to figure out 11 minutes from 47. So that's what, noon? We'll go till, or 1 o'clock. Okay. We're set. We're having to do this the old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned way, we'd both be on the computer, but his computer won't work. So
I don't know what's going on. It's being weird. If anybody can tell me what happened, let me know.
yeah. But potential. Don't allow other people's thoughts of what you can and cannot do squash your potential. It's inside of you. You know what you love to do. Now, if someone gives you some crazy thing about, wow, you've got great potential. Well, and what? Numbers, anything. Tell me more. Because what it is what that feedback of you've got great potential. Yeah, everyone's got great potential.
Well,
But
yeah,
at what?
And part of this too is I think you have to define your own potential.
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Right.
The magician isn't an actual magician. You
Right.
are not clergy. It's the characteristics around whatever that is.
Well,
So,
one of the guys in the show got the word gum. Gum.
so he's
I haven't figured. They haven't really explained why, except for he fixed a piece of machinery
He's
equipment with
malleable.
gum. But
he's malleable.
yeah, it was interesting because a couple of the words didn't really make sense. And why? How can your potential be gum? It's just weird. However, at the end of the series or what have you show, he fixed a piece of equipment with a piece of gum. Now, is that where his potential is?
No.
But that could possibly lead to ingenuity.
Yeah. It's
Mechanically inclined.
the
malleability.
malleability. Malleability.
That's a big word.
Yeah. So my thought is, whatever your potential is, you have to define it for yourself. So like some people would say, well, I don't want to do this and that and that. It's too big. It's too much. Well, then that's not your potential. You may have the potential in there, but you can bring it to whatever limit you want.
Right.
It's up to you how you see it, how you view it, how you want to experience it. And I was told I had a potential to be an engineer. I'm definitely not.
Well, you've got well, talking about you, yes, you have the potential to be an engineer. You did your degree, you did all of that stuff. That means you had the potential at that time to be one. Things have changed in your life quite a bit, and it may not be the right career path, if you will, for you. However, the thought processes and how you and I are a lot the same. We analyze things. We can put things together in a sequential order in order to come up with a final outcome. That's an engineer. Okay, we just do it logically as opposed to willy nilly, like somebody else who's not an engineer does.
Well, actually, with me in engineering, I like to build. I like to build things.
But there's another piece to this too that I was always taught over quite a few years. Potential also means can mean that you haven't done anything yet.
That is the potential. That's what potential is. You have the capacity,
you
and
haven't
you have
done
not
yet.
Yeah, potential means you have not.
Ain't done.
Yeah, potential means you have not, but you have the capability to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone tells you you have the potential to blah blah blah, it's a big compliment. If you act on it.
If you act on it, and you follow it, and you understand their definition of it.
That's why I said when they say you have great potential, that your next response to them is, in what? Because they could have, if they're facetious, you have the potential to be a big pain in my butt. Accomplished, whatever. So find out when they say you have great potential, in what?
My potential is to be a PETA.
Pain in the butt. Tip you. So, anyways, since we're having technical difficulties, then we have.
I think we're doing just fine.
We really don't know what's going on right now.
Can you see if we got any comments?
No, because it's on your page.
Oh, I guess. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys are commenting, and we'll address them later if we need to.
Yeah, I can't see it. I see it as an event, and I can't do anything else.
Interesting, weird. So, we have no idea if anybody's even listening, but I know y'all are because you guys listen to it afterwards.
Yeah. We have a lot of.
So if this actually turns out to be a decent show, like and share.
We have a lot of replay people.
We
appreciate you replay people.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of tough. Most people really are working at noon or they're on their lunch break or whatever. Some people do listen to us during our live.
Well, no, you have to remember we are not just in Mountain Time.
Oh, this is true.
A lot of our listeners are outside of Mountain Time, so we say noon, but it's already 2:00 on the East Coast, and people are just walking into lunch on the
West Coast.
West Coast. So
maybe you weren't meant to be an engineer.
I have a brain injury, Brian.
East, west, north.
You do remember that, right? And I'm also Benadryl like crazy because here in Colorado, all the pollen is out.
I'm glad I'm not an allergic person.
And I can barely breathe or see, but it's been quite the adventure. So I took a pill for allergies, and I'm cloudy. But anyways,
Fair to partly cloudy.
no, I'm definitely cloudy right now. Are we done?
I don't know. It's kind of short and sweet today, even with all of our stuff in it. But we have to, and we have the potential to be a great show. But no, we're already a great show, right?
Yeah.
Of course we are. Arrogant too.
We have the potential. There's a difference. You have to think about that. There's a difference between being arrogant and what? What did you?
Conceited was the other one.
No, you said that. What did you say? You just said, "Oh,
I said arrogant
we're arrogant."
because
No.
we have a great show.
No, the thing is there's a difference between being arrogant and knowing.
Oh, yes.
There's a big difference between that.
Confidence in knowing.
If you're good and you know it, don't shy from it. I will honestly look you straight in the eye and say, I'm a pretty damn good speaker. And I will not blink about it. Why? Because I know I am. Now, if back earlier when I first started, people say, well, you're a really good speaker. I do. Thank you. But I would hesitate. But now I know who I am. With Denim and Pearls, we know we're a pretty damn good podcast. Well, why would we say we're not? Why would we be doing it if we thought we weren't? You see, so
in worst case scenario, we're talking it into existence.
Well, you always talk positive. If you watch my show, if you watched my show this morning, I did a live on Facebook for the Live Unapologetic Tribe. It's live on my page. But I talked about positive brings positive, negative brings negative. So if you want more things in your life, you need to think positive about it. And so whatever you want, you need to bring it into existence by positively thinking about it. So we are a very good podcast. Can we be better? Yes. So what we put out is Denim and Pearls is growing to be a internationally known, well-viewed show.
Please help.
So that's the whole thing. Is we cannot undermine what we believe, or you will, whatever you believe. If you're saying it positive and you say one negative, it's like a negative review. More people, or in our case, the universe will listen to that one negative review and bring that more to fruition than all the positive reviews. So be careful how you speak, because
I want to tie something else in before we call it a day.
What?
Somebody else's perception, or somebody else's perception of your, what's the word we were just using? Potential. Because we had this conversation yesterday where somebody thought that I wasn't what I am because they don't know me well enough. So in other words, they're translating my potential, their perception of my potential
is lower than it should be.
Is much lower than it should be. And so sometimes we got to look out for those people who really don't have a good perspective on our own potential. So words of advice sometimes are not the words of advice that they should be.
Well, my thing is that's why it's good to have a tribe. It's good to have people who care about you, because when someone undermines your potential, when someone lowers your potential, they think that you cannot do. It's not you that can change their mind. It's
right.
got to be someone else.
It's got to be somebody else.
And so someone else is the one who elevates the perception of you in that other person's mind. And so if someone doesn't think very highly of you, fine, walk away. They don't deserve the talent you give. Mm-hmm. Now, if someone else
or they're not willing to learn what your talent is.
If someone else is talking and saying, hey, you're wrong, blah, 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 and they're not listening, walk away, because they don't deserve your talent. And I kind of live by that. You don't believe in me? I'm clapping for you. You don't clap for me? Goodbye. And so it's kind of that way. When you know your worth, you know your worth. And that's what a lot of people I've met recently is they're questioning their worth, their potential. They see this great grand thing, but they think inside that they are not worthy of that. As long as you believe you're not worthy of this great thing you really, really want, you will never get it. So you must believe wholeheartedly that it's yours. It's already waiting there for you. You just got to take it. And it will happen, because all your instincts, everything you do will slowly guide you to that. So, Denim and Pearls is an awesome podcast. We can only get better.
I love how she turned that. You flipped that right back around.
It's my gift. Pretty funny for someone with a brain injury, isn't it? But anyways.
You don't know east from west, but
I can't add 3 plus 4, so
Foa?
I can't add. I'm really asleep.
You are. But you're not.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing.
Yeah, but my body's like crashing. It's amazing what allergy pills do. They just kind of numb your entire body. It's like my brain's on, but my eyes don't want to work. My body doesn't want to move.
It's one of those days that if you close your eyes, you'd be out in about 3 seconds.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
I'm not used to ever doing that. I don't do that, but
Yeah, and I don't do allergies, though.
I'm so allergic.
At least not that I'm aware of.
Oh, you'd know if you had them. Trust me. Go outside. I was pulling weeds again today, and I hit that dang pine tree, and it was like snowing yellow stuff on me. Anyways.
Be the best you. Be unapologetic, but fulfill your potential.
Reach your potential.
How's that good for words?
Reach your
Did I
potential.
do good?
No.
Okay.
Reach your potential. Be unapologetically the best version of you every day. So reach for the stars.
Keep your feet on the ground.
And reaching for the stars. So
Quote to Casey Kasem.
we are Denim and Pearls. My name is Dr. Michelle Moraz.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
We're Denim Pearls. We are business casual
With pearls of wisdom.
from the porch. And let's see how Brian turns this thing off without looking goofy when he goes over.
I'm gonna get they're gonna get a full face full of my belly.
Okay. Let's go. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us.